Hey, this is Mr. Penton with Master Yourself Martial Arts. I'm coming at you with this week's Power Up. So Power Up is a weekly opportunity to kind of reset our attention and help us grow and have a great and productive life. So this week I want to talk about something that's really important. I struggle to even figure out how to bring this to your attention, okay? But I'll just start with Shakespeare, okay? So William Shakespeare said, "There's nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." Thinking makes things good or bad. And what does he mean? Like, this is a crazy idea. Of course there's bad stuff in the world, right? Of course there's evil and horrible. Of course there's amazing things in the world too, right? But are we sure? Or is it just what we think? Is it just what we're focusing on in the moment? Like, if you want to think about the horribleness of being in a high pressure situation, you really feel like the heat is on you, and you know the pressure is really ratcheted up, and you've been in that situation for a long time, and it's really squeezing you. Well, I mean, it could be a negative situation, or it could be a positive situation. It just depends on how you deal with it, right? So if you take coal and you put it in that situation, it turns into a diamond. So what is it going to turn you into? That's the real question. For some people, pressure turns them into something precious. For other people, pressure turns them into nothing. They self-implode and their life disintegrates. And what's the difference? Because the difference is, what do you think is going to happen? You see, the diamond says that this pressure, this heat, this intensity, this will make me more. And if it grinds you into a powder, then you say, oh, this is here to destroy me. This is here to break me. This is here for negative reasons. So if you're going through a season in your life that's challenging, if you're going through a season of your life and you feel like the pressure's on and the heat is rising and you're not sure how you're going to get through this, I can't say that I have all the answers for you, but I will tell you that mastering your focus, being able to channel everything that happens to you as something that happens for you, okay, that makes such a tremendous difference in life. Because when you think that life is happening for you, wow, it's just a different world, right? So how do we control our focus? All right, there's 4 parts. Are you ready? Okay, so you got these eyes. We need to control what's happening, what we're seeing, what we're consciously choosing, what we're ingesting with our eyes. So the books that we're reading, the places that we're going on the internet, the things that we're watching on television, these are all things that we need to be controlling with our eyes. We can't control the daily events. You may see something horrific or something amazing. You can't control that. But we can limit the amount of negative stuff, and most of the things that happen on the internet, on TV, and just in the news, like, this is all negative stuff. We need to be making better choices with how we're using our eyes. Okay, and then controlling how we're using our ears, the auditory input. So are we listening to things that are going to be uplifting and encouraging, or things that are going to bring us down, right? So the music that we choose, the podcast that we listen to, all of this stuff makes such a big difference. And then the words that we're speaking, right? The words that we're speaking, they can bring life or they can bring death. And it just depends on where our focus is, right? The words that we're choosing for each moment, we can make them bigger or we can make them smaller. You can have a fantastic time, or you can have a good time, or you can have an okay time, or you can have a meh time. And it really just depends. Or you can have a meh time, or you can have a bad time, or you can have an awful time, or you can have a bone-crushingly horrible time. And it just depends on how you use your words, right? It could be the same experience, but we could focus on a different element of it, and then what pops out of our mouth is what we focused on. And the last area is the area that's the hardest to control, and that's your mind, okay? Is what we think about all day long shapes the direction of our life. our mental attention, our mental energy, whatever we give our focus to gets stronger. If you focus on how this one person is such a jerk, you're going to see that person as a jerk every time you're around them. And heaven help you if it's the one in the mirror, because you know that person's not going away. I can guarantee that, okay? Whew, right? So we need to pay attention to what's happening upstairs. Pay attention to our thoughts. And if we have a thought that we don't like, we wouldn't select for our best friend, and we wouldn't select it for ourselves either. So we need to invite those thoughts to say, thank you for your service, kind thought. I'm going to escort you somewhere else, right? There's different ways you can do that. One way you can do it is take the thought. Usually if it's a negative thought, it's vivid, right? You can clearly see this happening. We'll just take that mental image of what's happening and make it a little blurry. Make it in black and white, right? Make it dim and far away, right? And just changing all those little things really changes how you're focusing on that thing. Because when we make things smaller in our head, we experience them as smaller. When we make them big in our head, we experience them as bigger. So the reality is that what we focus on, what we're paying attention to, the stuff that's coming in our eyes, the stuff that's coming in our ears, the stuff that's coming out of our mouth, and the stuff that's rattling around upstairs, this is our life. This is it. That's all we get. And if we don't control our focus, then we're going to accidentally have a life instead of having a life on purpose. And I don't know what your purpose is, but I know that you have one. And I know that if you're not controlling your focus, you'll be living out someone else's purpose instead of your own. So, if you want to take some time and focus on yourself and put good stuff in, you can join us at Master Yourself Martial Arts. We'd be happy to have you for our regular Taekwondo classes. You can give us a call, the MYMA hotline, 321-383-4600, or look us up on the internet. We're at TitusvilleATA.com. Love you all and have a great day. Remember, make your life a masterpiece.